Now at 3, we are now seeing the aftermath of Tropical Storm Hilary with mudslides and flash floods causing damage and washed out roads. We're live with from some of the hard-hit areas.
And President Joe Biden touring the damage caused by the devastating wildfires on Maui. He is set to deliver remarks after meeting with victims and first responders, and we are there live. The KTLA 5 News at 3 o'clock starts right now.
Good afternoon, I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. The Inland Empire is cleaning up from damage after Hilary triggered flash flooding and debris slides.
Evacuation orders were issued for some of the hard-hit communities. KTLA 5's Lauren Lister is live now in Oak Glen with more on the damage there. Lauren?
Yeah, Glenn and Lou, Tropical Storm Hilary moved on, but it has left behind a trail of damage. Take a look behind me. The storm sending debris, mud, rocks, even trees right into this building after San Bernardino mountain communities got around 10 inches of rain. Crews cleaning up mud and debris in the community of Oak Glen, less than 24 hours after Tropical Storm Hilary dumped rain that sent water overflowing creeks and flooding down streets. In the morning, the damage revealed. What's your reaction seeing the damage of this storm?
It's definitely devastating, for sure.
Kyle McLaughlin's father owns this property. His dream was to turn this building back into a business for the community or sell it. Now?
I don't know that we're going to recover from this one.
This is the worst one I've ever seen.
Trina Delgado has lived in Oak Glen her whole life. No stranger to storms and the concerns that come with them in a burn scar area. She didn't evacuate, but once the rain started coming down hard, prepared to flee to higher ground.
So we just make sure we got everything out ready to go, like our canned foods and our waters, for us to take a hike if we had to go up in a little bit higher elevation.
In the community of Seven Oaks.
This all used to be wooded area. All the trees are gone, down. The road is washed out.
A resident sharing this video with us, and authorities telling us the storm trapped 20 to 30 people there, forced to shelter in place.
The amount of water that was flowing, Swiftwater teams made the decision that it was safer for them to shelter in place as opposed to attempting to effect a rescue.
In Forest Falls during the storm, a wall of mud and boulders forced even firefighters to run. A large debris flow cutting off access to that area. A resident sharing the mess outside his home. Crews now trying to dig out the road for residents there. Now, here you can see all of this damage. Well, what is next? There are still evacuation orders in place in this community of Oak Glen, and either evacuation orders or shelter-in-place orders in the communities of Angeles Oaks, Seven Oaks, as well as Forest Falls. They've only been lifted in one area of Yucaipa. There is still a threat of thunderstorms. One bit of positive news, San Bernardino County authorities say no major injuries or deaths reported, and new at this hour, authorities say they are beginning air rescue of those people that are trapped in that Seven Oaks community I was telling you about. For now, that's the latest live here in Oak Glen. I'm Lauren Lister. I'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Lauren. In the Antelope Valley, many roads were overwhelmed by the heavy rainfall during the storm.
And residents are being urged to stay home until those streets are cleared. Kimberly Chang is live in Lancaster, where some residents are stuck in their homes. Kimberly.
Hi, Lou Glen. Residents say that they have not been able to leave their homes since that storm, and this is the reason why. Right behind me, they woke up and saw this huge pool of water. And if you take a look over there to the left, you can see that a car is stuck. Many of them with these smaller vehicles just don't want to take a chance and cross. And they tell me that this is not the first time this has happened. Whenever they have a big storm, the drains get clogged up. It just can't keep up with the rainfall, and they have this pool of water here blocking them in. Some of them, it's leading up to their driveways. Now, we've spoken with some residents here, some who are seniors, who say if they have to leave their homes, they're concerned because they just wouldn't be able to do it. And we saw some people walking in it, and they said that it's going up to their thighs. Some children playing in this water say it is about waist deep. We talked to some of those residents earlier. Take a listen.
We've been stranded for 2 days.
Residents are stuck in their homes near Vineyard Drive and Emerald Lane in Lancaster. Water pooled in front of their homes, creating a lake. Drains can't keep up with the rain. No one wants to take a chance and drive out. They saw what happened to Irving Saldana's Chevy Bolt.
Yeah, and it's been just unfortunate just because it's my third car. Yeah, that this has happened to. First was a Subaru, then a BMW, now it's my Bolt. And my neighbor, Lucy, she did call me, but I do work graveyard a lot of hours. And yeah, I didn't have time to really get out there.
Saldana says he's missing work.
I can't, because if the moment we leave another car, it's going to get stuck in the water.
You don't trust it?
No, it's too deep.
Residents tell me they've reached out to officials and they're hoping they'll be able to clear this out soon.
We've called the maintenance department, the city hall, but they're inundated with work, and they said they would be out here as soon as possible.
And in the meantime, your car can't make it through this.
We can't go anywhere.
Now.
Unless we walk through the rocks.
Last night
there.
we might have been lucky, but
Not
no.
like this. What's your biggest concern in all seriousness?
If him or I get real sick.
This time it just stranded me in the house. I had a dentist appointment today. Couldn't go to the dentist because to see where the two cars are in my driveway, the water was all the way up there. But I've talked to the city about the drain right over here. Talked to them twice. Told them I think it's clogged up. They need to do something. Nobody came out to do anything.
So they're just waiting inside their homes now. KTLA has reached out to the city of Lancaster. We're waiting for a response. Now, earlier throughout the Antelope Valley, as we've shown you, we have seen many flooded roads in this area. I spoke with CHP earlier, and they tell me that people should really avoid crossing any standing pools of water because you just don't know how stable it is underneath, and you don't want to get stuck. Reporting live here in Lancaster, Kimberly Chang, KTLA 5 News, sending it back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Kimberly. A Sun Valley family is getting a city tree cleared from their front yard. A large section of the tree at the corner of Neenock Street and Telfair Avenue just barely missed their house when it toppled overnight. A bedroom with some children was closest to where the tree came down, but it did fall on two parked cars in the yard, and the owner says they are totaled.
When I come out and I saw that tree on the floor, my heart, it just got tight and hurt. But I'm thanking God that my family are safe.
The homeowner says this is not the first time that something like this has happened there. Some time ago, a tree on the other side of the corner also fell and damaged other cars.
The LA Unified School District will resume classes tomorrow after the storm prompted officials to close campuses for today. Superintendent Alberto Cavallo says last night's decision was made out of an abundance of caution. He also says teams have been evaluating campuses for any storm-related issues. Today, the district distributed free meals for each student at 13 different grab-and-go locations. Major cleanup efforts are underway in Palm Springs and the Coachella Valley after Hilary unleashed unprecedented flooding and mud flows.
KTLA 5's Pedro Rivera joining us now with more on the desert storm damage and what is ahead. Pedro.
Glenn Lou, essentially, it is tough to go in and out of Palm Springs in the Coachella Valley over the last 24 hours, but crews are making progress reopening much of the 10 freeway. This afternoon, Riverside County officials have issued a local emergency declaration in response to the damage and mess left behind by Tropical Storm Hilary, hoping to get state and federal resources quickly into the region.
Early Monday morning, the desert was a muddy mess. Sky 5 was over a community in Cathedral City where neighbors stepped out of their homes to find mud has inundated streets and sidewalks. Dozens of cars now stuck, including this semi-truck. This drone video from Palm Estates shows what looks like a makeshift pond in between homes. Palm Springs Airport reporting 70% of their yearly rainfall total in just one day, with the community seeing over 3 inches of rain.
We are definitely not built for this kind of rain.
Despite the city handing out 40,000 sandbags to residents ahead of the storm, former KTLA news director turned boutique hotel owner in Palm Springs, Jason Ball, says the area was not built to handle this much rain.
We get 3 to 5 inches of rain a year, and we got probably close to our annual rainfall in the last 36 hours.
Sunday afternoon, the onslaught of rain turned the middle of intersections into raging rivers. At one point, 911 lines were down, but as of Monday morning, calls are being rerouted.
Currently are working with the telephone company that is working with all of us. We all were able to have secondary phones for the public to use.
Now the attention turns to opening access to cities. A portion of the 10 freeway was closed for hours in both directions as mud and debris covered lanes, with vehicles moving at a snail's pace as cars were being diverted.
Conveniences, but we're just very fortunate that we're here, open sky day. The desert's a little cooler, and we're getting things back as best as we can.
We are a tourist-based economy, so we can get everything back in order for the weekend, hopefully, and we'll be back at Palm Springs will be back in business by the weekend.
Yeah, that's the goal. Again, Palm Springs officials have just announced the 10 freeway has mostly reopened. However, eastbound traffic is being diverted off of the freeway at Date Palm Drive as crews still work to clear up some debris from the lanes. Now, KTLA's Shelby Nelson will be live for us in the 4 o'clock hour from Cathedral City, so stay with us. Live here in the newsroom, I'm Pedro Rivera. Back to you.
Pedro, thank you.
All right, let's check in with Casey, and it keeps getting better and better at the beach.
It's gorgeous outside right now. Look at this Huntington Beach camera. I would just like to take ourselves all and plant us there on the beach this afternoon. We did have some elevated surf this morning. Surf advisory expired. All of our advisories thankfully expired either last night or this morning. Temperatures right now, 74 in Los Angeles, 63 in Big Bear, 75 in Lancaster, mostly sunny, 82 degrees right now in San Bernardino. And some impressive rainfall totals. Again, this is from Saturday night through this morning. East Pasadena, more than 5.5 inches, more than 3 inches in Palm Springs, almost 3 inches for Catalina, and almost 5 inches in Van Nuys. Outside right now, we do have some spots with double-digit sustained wind speeds. We'll see some gusts in the 25-30 mile an hour range for the Inland Empire and the mountain communities as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures for tomorrow, 87 for Van Nuys, 88 in Santa Clarita. We'll be in the low 90s for Woodland Hills. We are going to be much warmer than we are feeling today. 81 in Long Beach tomorrow, 79 for Santa Ana, and in the Inland Empire, 89 for Chino. And we'll look at the rest of the week after the break.
You're listening to the KTLA 5 news station in Los Angeles, the only Los Angeles station with a local TV news simulcast on iHeartRadio. Stay tuned for breaking news, weather, and traffic on our next newscast at 4 a.m. And tune in throughout the day at 1, 3, 6, 10, and 11 p.m. for the latest news from all over Southern California, the nation, and the world. KTLA 5 News on iHeartRadio, LA's only local TV news simulcast. KTLA 5 for news, weather, and traffic. Breaking news, weather, and traffic on our next newscast at 4 a.m. And tune in throughout the day at 1, 3, 6, 10, and 11 p.m. for the latest news from all over Southern California, the nation, and the world. KTLA 5 News on iHeartRadio, LA's only local TV news simulcast. We are the #1 source for local news in Southern California. KTLA 5, LA's very own.
USC has found its new athletic director. Just a short time ago, Jennifer Cohen was introduced on campus. The 54-year-old has held the same position at the University of Washington since 2016. She was instrumental in guiding Washington to the Big Ten Conference earlier this month as the Huskies followed USC and UCLA in leaving the Pac-12. Cohen is a native of Arcadia and will be the first female athletic director in USC history.
This is extra special for me and very meaningful to come back to my original roots, to lead a storied and iconic athletic program at one of the most prestigious universities in the world.
Cohen is also a member of the College Football Playoff Committee, but she cannot vote for a team she represents, so USC is hoping she will have to recuse herself from voting this fall. The Trojans do have their eye on the playoffs this season.
And for the first time ever, Spain has won the Women's World Cup. Olga Carmona scored a goal in the 29th minute to go up 1-0 against England, and they ended up holding on to that slim lead to win their first World Cup title in just their third appearance on the world's biggest stage.
The All-Star team from El Segundo is less than an hour away from their huge quarterfinal game in the Little League World Series. Next up, the team from Needville, Texas, the boys from El Segundo, advancing after a comeback win on Thursday against the team from Ohio, winning 4-3. Manager Danny Boley says that he has all his pitchers available for today's game, and the team will get first baseman Jackson Kalish back after he missed the game against Ohio with a stomach virus. First pitch scheduled for 4 p.m., a win, and the team is on the way to the U.S. semifinals on Wednesday. So go El Segundo.
Yeah, we'll be watching.
Cute.
That's cool.
Oh, that is really cute. All right, have you been outside?
Just this morning.
Oh, it feels nice outside
Yeah,
right now.
okay.
It's almost
Okay.
as if yesterday never happened.
Oh.
But a lot of cleanup left in a lot of our interior sections. Outside we go on this Monday afternoon to look at the gorgeous conditions from Huntington Beach. Calm winds right now. Temperatures below average, though. Still a lot of people outside enjoying after being stuck inside for a couple of days. More impressive rainfall totals. These are actually some of the highest. So Mount Wilson got more than 8.5 inches, almost 12 inches in Riverside County at Mount San Jacinto. Over 3 inches in Coto de Caza, and more than 4 inches of rain fell in this storm at Devore. More for you. Almost 6.5 inches for Saugus, almost 6 for Lake Palmdale, just under 4.5 in Northridge, and just under 2.5 in Garden Grove. I know a lot of people saying didn't really rain much in my neighborhood, but those are the official totals. So we definitely saw a significant amount of rain from Tropical Storm Hilary. Temperatures outside right now, 74 in Santa Monica. It is 75 in Lancaster, 78 in Santa Ana, and 81 degrees right now in Riverside, which is warmer than this time yesterday. We are all seeing temperatures warmer, significantly warmer in Palm Springs right now. Air quality good to moderate for all of us. We do typically see our air quality improve after a nice heavy rainstorm, and we watch these numbers decrease throughout the day. Yesterday, a lot of these interior numbers, 100% relative humidity. The air was so saturated, and again, these have been falling quite a bit as we head later into the afternoon. We are going to dry out over the next few days. Storm tracker, this is the European model. It is showing a lot of green on here. Doesn't mean it's making its way to the ground. Just still a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. There is still a slight risk. We're seeing a little bit up here in those mountain communities. We could see some pop-up thunderstorms in the mountain communities this afternoon into the early evening just because of the instability left behind from Hilary. So just don't be surprised by that. Tomorrow morning, you can see a small area. We will see that marine layer, but that will clear and sunny skies for everybody on Tuesday afternoon. 10-day trend. So all of us will see temperatures below average, pretty cool for the next next few days, but we'll be back to normal by the end of the weekend. And then as we start next week, temperatures will be above average for everyone once again. So for the coast, we'll be in the mid-70s for the next couple of days. Clouds in the morning, sunshine by the afternoon. Windy tomorrow, though, with gusts up to 25 miles an hour. We'll be slightly below average all the way through the weekend, and then back to normal, a degree above by next Monday. San Gabriel Valley tomorrow, 83 degrees, morning clouds for the next several days, but sunshine by the afternoon. Temperatures will be pretty close to normal by Saturday and above average, back to the low 90s Sunday, Monday. Orange County tomorrow, 83 degrees, clouds in the morning, sunshine by the afternoon. We'll be in the mid-80s all the way through Saturday, warmer Sunday and Monday. Mountain communities finally drying out Tuesday, Wednesday. Chance of thunderstorms returns Thursday and Friday afternoon. We'll stay in the mid-70s for the weekend and a little bit warmer to start next work week. And for the Santa Clarita Valley, 87 degrees and sunny tomorrow. We're into the low 90s by Wednesday, and we'll stay in the 90s for the rest of the week. Back to you.
Casey, thank you. And up next, Spotify nearly bans certain types of podcasts from its platform because they're costing the company too much money. We'll explain.
You're listening to the KTLA 5 news station in Los Angeles, the only Los Angeles station with a local TV news simulcast on iHeartRadio. Tune in for news, weather, food, and fun on our next newscast at 6 a.m. with the KTLA 5 Weekend Morning News. And catch us again at 6, 10, and 11 p.m. You're listening to KTLA 5 News on iHeartRadio, LA's only local TV news simulcast. You can contact KTLA 5 on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Leave us your comments, photos, videos, and story ideas. Or just use the hashtag KTLA when you make a post. You're listening to the KTLA 5 News on iHeartRadio, the only local TV news simulcast in Los Angeles. Tune in for news, weather, food, and fun on our next newscast at 6 a.m. with the KTLA 5 Weekend Morning News.
Well, Spotify is apparently spending a ton of money on podcasts that actually don't involve any talking.
That's because they are white noise podcasts. Now, these kinds of shows play various types of relaxing sounds on loop, like static, crashing waves, or even rain. So why are these podcasts costing Spotify $38 million? Well, it's because they are very popular, and Spotify says white noise podcasts make up 3 million daily consumption hours on its platform, and Spotify has to pay the creators behind these podcasts for the ads that play during its episodes. Last year, a report from Bloomberg suggested these white noise podcasts were making up to $18,000 a month from ad revenue. Now, when Spotify narrowed in on these numbers, it actually considered banning these shows from its platform, but the company says the proposal did not pan out.
Boy, did we miss the boat on that one.
We did. And a new wind-powered cargo ship is being hailed as revolutionary.
Even though when you think about it, weren't all ships powered by wind way back in the day?
Yes.
Well, that's part of the point of this voyage, to see if the traditional way of powering a ship could be the best way forward for a greener future. Here it is on its maiden voyage, powered by two 120-foot fiberglass sails. The vessel, chartered by the Cargill Shipping Company, is sailing from Singapore to Brazil, then Denmark. Its makers believe that harnessing wind power could one day cut carbon emissions in the shipping sector by 30% per ship. What about the tacking back and forth?
And then they're going to also have the motor just in case.
Just in case, of course. All right, more of your top stories are coming up next.
President Biden is expected to deliver remarks after touring the damage caused by the devastating wildfires on Maui. We'll bring that to you live.
Plus, National Cinema Day is right around the corner. That means $4 movie theater tickets are up for grabs. We'll explain after the break.
You're listening to the KTLA 5 news station in Los Angeles, the only Los Angeles station with a local TV news simulcast on iHeartRadio. Don't miss our next newscast at 6 p.m. And for more breaking news, join us at 10 and 11 p.m. We are the #1 source for local news in Southern California. KTLA 5, LA's very own. Stay tuned for more live breaking news, weather, and sports. You're listening to KTLA 5, LA's very own. You're listening to the KTLA 5 News on iHeartRadio, the only local TV news simulcast in Los Angeles. Don't miss our next newscast at 6 p.m. And for more breaking news, join us at 10 and 11 p.m. You're listening to the KTLA 5 news station in Los Angeles, the only Los Angeles station with a local TV news simulcast on iHeartRadio. Don't miss our next newscast at 6 p.m. And for more breaking news, join us at 10 and 11 p.m. We are the #1 source for local news in Southern California. KTLA 5, LA's very own. Stay tuned for more.
Now at 3:30, the President and First Lady have arrived on Maui to survey the destruction left from the deadly wildfires. And while on the island, the Bidens plan to not just meet with government officials, but also they will speak to wildfire survivors and also first responders.
The President is set to speak shortly. KTLA 5's Annie Rose Ramos live now in Lahaina with the latest on the presidential visit. Annie Rose?
Hey, Lou and Glenn, the President and First Lady arriving a couple of minutes ago here in Maui, and then we saw, once the Air Force One landed, him get onto a helicopter. We saw the helicopter fly above us here in Lahaina, taking a look from up above, because we know that from up above it is just breathtaking to see the extent of the wildfire disasters happening nearly 2 weeks ago. Then we saw that helicopter land over there and the motorcade coming down that road over there in order to go into Lahaina. We know that the President is also going to survey that damage on foot by the ground so that he can see a firsthand look on Front Street and all those areas right in the heart of the devastation of Lahaina. Then he'll be coming, after he delivers that address here, he'll be coming to the Civic Center. Just a couple minutes ago, we saw a bunch of buses coming in full of people. Those are the community members you were talking about. They're going to sit down, break bread with the Commander-in-Chief, and they're going to discuss how the government is going to be here for them in the long term, because that is what we keep hearing from folks here. They're concerned that they're not going to be, once our cameras leave and all the news media leaves and everybody leaves, what is going to be here and staying and helping us out as we work to recover and rebuild, because we know it's going to take not months but years. Now, I want to bring in John Mills, spokesperson for FEMA, because you are right there at the forefront of those recovery efforts. Talk a little bit more about what these people are going to be receiving. You're going to stay here for the long run, you keep saying, but folks that we've spoken to say not all of us have received money, and we need that at the end of the day to just get from day to day to help us, get through this recovery process. So where are we with that process?
I just checked some of the latest numbers just to make sure I had it, and so we've already approved. FEMA has approved more than 2,700 households right here in the Lahaina area and on Maui for disaster assistance, and we've provided more than $8.2 million. That's being sent directly to those families and those survivors who were affected by the disaster. At the same time, our FEMA urban search and rescue teams, hundreds of personnel, are still looking for those who are unaccounted for in the very heavily impacted area in Lahaina.
We're hearing from the county of Maui, the missing people. While that was as many as 2,000, that's dropped down as of this morning to 850 people still remain. We know that as your team continues that search, the death toll is going to continue to rise. Is that right?
That certainly is a concern, and that's why we have doubled the number of search dogs in the affected area. They're working 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts, to try to bring some closure to these families. At the same time, we're also working directly with disaster survivors, helping them move from shelters and into hotels. FEMA has a hotel program, the state of Hawaii has a hotel program, and we're all working closely with the Red Cross and other nonprofits, charities, and faith-based groups to try to provide some temporary housing for people now. That's going very well right now because people are getting into hotels. Yeah. The big questions are going to be, how does the local community want to rebuild? How would they like the process to go? And we're being very mindful of cultural traditions, and that's why FEMA's not in charge. We're a supporting agency working across the federal government to support requests that we get from the state and from Maui County.
Big concern for a lot of folks we've been speaking to this morning is, where do they go after the hotel? They've been told they have that hotel for about 30 days, but you've got families of 5 stuck in one hotel and they don't know where they're going to go from there. What are you telling them?
And we're working one-on-one with all of these families, and we recognize that 30 days is not going to be long enough for a lot of folks. For those who lost everything, this recovery could take months and years. It's going to vary because some people may have insurance coverage, some people might not, and some people might not have enough. So FEMA is helping fill some of the gaps that insurance may not cover, and we're working long-term with the community to listen to what their needs are and the needs of the families, so we can all work together as one big team to help meet those needs.
And the main message for folks out there who might not have received that money, because Biden talked about that initial $700 per household, is what? To get in touch with you, to get in touch with FEMA?
Yes, people can contact FEMA directly at 800-621-FEMA or online at disasterassistance.gov. We're working with you on a case-by-case basis, and we have opened a disaster recovery center at the University of Hawaii Maui College. It's open 7 days a week from 8 to 7, so we're meeting with people face-to-face with the Red Cross side by side, with the Small Business Administration, state agencies, and other organizations providing assistance directly to these survivors. And we're also going into neighborhoods at the direction of Maui County where we can be most effective to meet disaster survivors right where they are, and then at the same time taking a very somber and respectful approach to how we're searching for those who are still unaccounted for.
Thank you so much, John. I appreciate your time and all FEMA is doing here. Lou and Glenn, take a look here. You've got those buses coming in. Again, those are the members of the community, not just here in Lahaina, although that makes up the majority of folks who are coming out here today, but also from those Kula wildfires and the other ones that are located, because you got to remember there were multiple wildfires happening across the island of Maui about 2 weeks ago. You know, we did go to one of those assistance centers that FEMA, John was talking about. We met some of the folks. We were there yesterday. People say, you know, we're coming with just a notebook because that was all they had left and the shirt on their back. They lost everything in the fires trying to recuperate and sort of just figure out where to go from here. But one man told me, you know, I didn't know this before I came here for this wildfire coverage, but Lou and Glenn, one man told me that Lahaina means cruel sun, and they are used to difficult conditions and tough outdoor conditions, and they say they are a resilient people and that they are going to come back from this. They are going to come back from this, that they are strong and can make it through this. They just want to be able to rebuild in the way that they had it before, and that they want to be part of the conversation. So that is why it's so important for them to be there right now, part of the table with the president as they move forward. Reporting live from Lahaina, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Annie Rose, thanks for sharing their stories so well. We appreciate it. And a reminder, if you're looking to donate to those impacted by the devastating fires, we do have a full list of organizations at ktla.com/helpmaui. And closer to home, Ventura County residents are cleaning up after the mess left behind by Tropical Storm Hilary.
KTLA 5's Karine Winter is in Camarillo, where flooding forced some people out of their homes.
Residents here tell me that they tried to prepare as much as possible for Hilary. Many people lined their property with sandbags. Some cleared away their storm drains, but for one homeowner, well, that wasn't enough, and that's because part of his hillsides caved in from all that heavy rainfall. A raging river of debris. That massive water flow coming from Todd Daly's backyard.
We've got a broken storm pipe drain system up above us on the above property, and it's basically etched a ravine through our yard and heading down towards Trueno with just tons of debris and rocks and tree roots. You can see it's causing enormous damage.
Sunday's tropical storm triggered this huge mess from the heavy rainfall. The damage so severe, the debris washed directly through Daly's backyard and onto the streets below.
Tough to be prepared for the broken storm pipe system because you don't realize how much it does for you out of sight, and when it's not functioning, all of a sudden this is what it could be if Mother Nature had its way with you.
Several inches of rain fell in this community, flooded streets and submerged vehicles. Then there was the earthquake that rattled nerves even further, with residents jolted during the storm.
We did have a lot of movement at the earthquake.
Yeah.
So, because our house is on beams. It was shaky a lot, but nothing, no structural damage. The animals got a little freaked out.
Add to that a nice earthquake just for good measure to Mother Nature just to let us know she's got all kinds of tricks.
Daly and his family spent the morning cleaning up around their home, knowing the real issue is their backyard that could cave even further at any moment. The soil still soaked and the foundation unsteady. That would cause mud to slide right into his home, a disaster he hopes is not around the corner. Daly's house has been yellow tagged. The fire chief, in fact, has visited his property several times, so they're keeping a close eye on things. That's the latest here in Camarillo. Karine Winter, KTLA 5 News.
All right, coming up.
Weather.
Weather?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up, weather.
Sorry.
It's okay. You know what, Glenn? I
Look at
have
the wrong
spoken
line.
a lot lately, so I could have used a break. Just kidding. Huntington Beach camera, we continue to watch this gorgeous, gorgeous shot. Winds right now, a little bit breezy. Temperatures in the low 70s. Still a lot of people outside enjoying the beach. More rainfall totals from the tropical storm Hilary, East Pasadena. Almost 6 inches, more than 3 for Palm Springs, close to 3 inches for Catalina Island, and just under 5 inches in Van Nuys over those 2 days. Temperatures outside right now, it is 74 in Santa Monica. We're seeing sunshine, 78 in Santa Ana, 82 in Chino, 75 degrees in Lancaster. This is what we can expect for temperatures tomorrow. We're going to start warming up. You'll probably feel a difference by tomorrow, if not Wednesday. 97 for Palm Springs tomorrow, 79 for Santa Ana, 81 for Long Beach, 87 degrees will be the high tomorrow for Van Nuys, and 73 in Oxnard. And we'll look at the rest of your 7-day forecasts after the break.
You're listening to the KTLA 5 news station in Los Angeles, the only Los Angeles station with a local TV news simulcast on iHeartRadio. Don't miss our next newscast at 6 p.m. And for more breaking news, join us at 10 and 11 p.m. We are the #1 source for local news in Southern California. KTLA 5, LA's very own. Stay tuned for more live breaking news, weather, and sports. You're listening to KTLA 5, LA's very own. You're listening to the KTLA 5 News on iHeartRadio, the only local TV news simulcast in Los Angeles. Don't miss our next newscast at 6 p.m. And for more breaking news, join us at 10 and 11 p.m.
Rise and shine, everyone.
Oh, yeah. Every day, Southern California wakes up to the KTLA 5 morning news.
Good morning.
And now, when you leave home to start your busy day, bring LA's favorite morning news team with you on your smartphone.
And we're following breaking news cleanup efforts underway after an oil spill.
It's LA's only live TV simulcast, heard exclusively on iHeartRadio.
I think that we have a pretty good finger on the pulse of what people in Southern California care about.
KTLA 5 morning news anchor Frank Buckley.
Because we're from Southern California, and we care about it the way you care about it. So we're going to be on top of it.
Now you can be on top of it, too, throughout the day.
You can't always be sitting at home on the couch watching TV.
KTLA 5 morning news anchor Jessica Holmes.
You got to, go to work, go to school.
But on your way, stay tuned, informed, and entertained.
Where you can get updates.
National Cinema Day is less than a week away. That means $4 movie tickets for all movies at participating theaters.
Plus, the Schultz family hasn't ruled out a film featuring the Peanuts characters. Sam Rubin has all the details in today's entertainment report.
We begin here with big news for moviegoers nationwide. Did you miss Barbenheimer? Want to take the whole family to see Blue Beetle for a great price? Then mark your calendars. This Sunday, National Cinema Day is back.
This is the best day ever.
It is the best day ever.
I am thrilled to be able to announce that we are doing our second ever National Cinema Day, Sunday, August 27th.
Amazing, insane. All right, tell me more.
Any movie, if you're going to a participating theater, all movies, all showtimes, all formats, $4. So that means new releases. We've got a few new releases this weekend. So we've got Gran Turismo, we've got Golda, We've got the second weekend of Blue Beetle. We also have some bringbacks from earlier this summer, titles that were really exciting, like Super Mario Brothers. And a sing-along version of Little Mermaid.
Darling, it's better, don't worry, sweater, take it from me.
We also have some legacy titles coming back. So we have Jurassic Park, the original, in 3D. Again, no surcharge for the 3D.
This is applicable across the board?
We have them all listed on nationalcinemaday.org. So all the show times, you can buy tickets right there.
You should stop by.
So cool.
Again, that is this Sunday, August 27th. All participating theaters, all day, all formats. That means 3D, IMAX, whatever. Tickets are only $4. And this offer is good. It's good all over the U.S. Speaking of movies, one of the better and admittedly older franchises is one that evolved from a cartoon in the newspaper. It's the gang from Peanuts.
I ought to slug you. Ugh! I've been kissed by a dog! I have dog germs! Get hot water! Get some disinfectant!
Now that's a scene from A Charlie Brown Christmas. That, of course, is a made-for-TV production. We see most of the Peanuts gang in TV specials, particularly around the holidays. As far as feature film goes, there are 5 in the Peanuts franchise, including a film that premiered back in 2015, a slightly different look for the characters. The most recent Peanuts special is all about Marcy, the smart brunette. Her special premiered on Apple TV Plus on Friday. But could there be more Peanuts movies in the future? The son of the famed cartoonist and creator of Peanuts, Charles M. Schulz, his son is named Craig, says never say never. That is your entertainment report here in Hollywood. I'm Sam Rubin.
It's me, Mario.
The voice of Mario is stepping down. Nintendo says Charles Martinet will no longer voice the iconic character in its video games, a role he has held since the 1990s. Martinet will now serve as the company's Mario ambassador. He'll travel around the world to promote the character, meet fans, and sign autographs while still performing the voice in person. Martinet was replaced by Chris Pratt in this year's movie version of Super Mario Brothers. The company did not say who will replace Martinet in the games or why he is stepping down.
I'm available.
Yes,
Just my
exactly.
voice, right?
Yeah,
It sure is.
why not?
I'm sure it pays real well.
Mario!
It probably does pay very well, Glenn. Yeah. All right, outside we go.
Producer saying, Bobby's going, come on, do it, do the voice.
Do it.
I don't even know what it is.
Oh, well, you can practice and you can show us tomorrow. We continue to look at this gorgeous shot from Huntington Beach where the sun has been out all day, blue skies. Temperatures a little below average, about 5 degrees below average, but it is gorgeous nonetheless. 77 in Long Beach right now at 78 downtown, 79 in Burbank, 75 for Lancaster. We are still seeing the low 80s in the Inland Empire, a little bit warmer, 89 in Palm Springs. But notice how we are all much warmer than this time yesterday as we dry out. 15 degrees warmer in Palm Springs and 8 degrees warmer right now in Van Nuys. Air quality good to moderate for everyone. We always see this improve quite a bit after a nice heavy rainstorm, as is the case today again. And we do have some gusty winds for these interior spots, our mountain communities. When you see yellow on here, that's anywhere from 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts. Stronger though for Santa Barbara County. They've seen some really strong winds all throughout the day. The winds will last through tonight and then die down overnight, picking back up tomorrow afternoon. As far as what we can expect with rain the rest of the afternoon, yes, we are mostly dry, but there's enough instability that we are starting to see the chance of some thunderstorms, pop-up thunderstorms for those mountain communities, and we will leave that in the forecast through later this evening. When sun sets, though, the chance does start to decrease, and we will dry out for the next couple of days before the mountains have another chance of seeing some thunderstorm activity. Notice how tomorrow morning we see the return of the marine layer for just some areas, but that will clear, and we can count on sunshine for your Tuesday afternoon. So for the LA basin, temperatures are going to be below average all the way through Saturday. And then before the weekend is over, we're back into the mid 80s and warmer. We will wake up to low clouds and fog each morning, but that'll clear very quickly to sunshine. Ventura County inland areas, clouds tomorrow morning, sunshine by the late morning into afternoon, 79 degrees. Back into the low 80s Wednesday. We're staying there through Saturday and then warmer by the time the weekend is over. Inland Empire, 89 degrees tomorrow, mostly sunny and breezy. We're right back into the 90s on on Wednesday. You'll start off with sunshine on Thursday, see increasing clouds by the afternoon, and some areas nearby do have a chance of seeing some thunderstorm activity. Temperatures, though, will be back to normal for the weekend, a little bit above by Monday. San Fernando Valley, 92 degrees tomorrow. Clouds in the morning, sunshine by the afternoon. We'll be above average all week, but enjoy the 90s while they last, because by next Monday, so a week away, we're back into the triple digits. For the high desert communities, 87 degrees tomorrow and sunny skies, back into the low 90s on Wednesday. We'll stay below average for the rest of the week with lots of sunshine in the forecast for you. Low desert communities, 99 degrees and sunny tomorrow. We're back to the triple digits on Wednesday, so the next couple of days are really going to be pivotal for this area to clean up that mess. Another chance of showers and thunderstorms happens on Thursday afternoon, and then we're going to stay in the triple digits for the rest of the week. Back to you.
Tropical storm Hilary up. Let's go to Lahaina, Hawaii right now. President Biden is speaking.
American people stand with you. Governor Josh Green, you've been incredible from the day we've spoken on this. You've been way ahead of the curve. Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke, Brian Shantz, our senator, Senator Maisie. By the way, Maisie, I told my granddaughter, whose name is Maisie as well. She said, that's why I like her. Anyway, but her name is Maisie as well. And Jill Takuda, Representative Ed Chase, and Mayor Rick Bassin. Rick, when we talked on the phone, you look like you played in defensive tackle for, I don't know who, but somebody good. But at any rate, I want to thank you for your leadership and during this unimaginable tragedy. To my left is the banyan tree, beloved by this community for over 150 years. Here in the former capital of the Kingdom of Hawaii, that has stood for generations as a sacred spot of exceptional significance. One of the people who took me under his wing when I first got to the Senate was Danny Inouye. He used to talk about the Kingdom of Hawaii. He came from Japan, but it was amazing to listen to him. Today is burned, but it's still standing. The tree survived for a reason. I believe it's a very powerful symbol of what we can and will do to get through this crisis. And for as long as it takes, we're going to be with you. The whole country will be with you. You know, we will be respectful of the sacred grounds and the traditions that rebuild the way the people of Maui want it built, not the way others want it built. We're going to rebuild the way the people of Maui want it built. But you know, it's going to be hard. America's deadliest wildfire in over a century. And Jill and I have what's left, walked Front Street, what's left of it. We've surveyed the damage from the air as well. The devastation is overwhelming. To date, 114 dead, hundreds of people unaccounted for. I remember when I got the call, my first wife and daughter, I was a young senator, and I got a call in Washington. I hadn't been sworn in yet. I wasn't old enough. And I was hiring staff in the Capitol at Teddy Kennedy's office. And I got a phone call saying from my fire department, and a young first responder kind of panicked, you got to come home. There's been an accident. I said, what happened? He said, your wife, she's dead. Come home, come home. The tractor trailer had broadsided her and killed her in a car accident along with my little daughter. And I remember all the way down from Washington home, wondering what a lot of people here are wondering. What about my two boys? How are they? They were in the car. I never got a read on that. Were they going to be all right? They were badly injured. Were they going to make it? Had they made it? Wasn't until I walked into the emergency room that I saw that they were there. The difference between knowing somebody's gone and worrying whether they're available to come back are two different things. You know, and I remember one of the people who helped me the most was Danny Inouye. He helped bring me back, so I know the feeling that as many of the people in this town, this community, that hollow feeling you have in your chest like you're being sucked into a black hole, wondering, will I ever get by this? You know, and it's one thing to know, but it's quite another thing to have to wait to wonder whether your family member is going to be okay. Imagine being a parent wondering whether your child is, where he is. I remember, as I said, you know, press reports of grandfathers crying for lost neighbors, while trying to be strong for the ones who survived. Of a woman distributing clothing to survivors who says she didn't lose her home, but she lost her hometown. But I also want all of you to know the country grieves with you, stands with you, and will do everything possible to help you recover, rebuild, and respect culture and traditions when the rebuilding takes place. My administration has been in constant contact with the governor and congressional delegation and local leaders. As soon as I got the governor's request, I signed the major disaster declaration that mobilized the whole of government response, which means whatever you need, you're going to get. For example, the Coast Guard and Navy immediately supported maritime search and rescue operations, while the Army helped fire suppression. Here's what we've been doing since. First, we focused on search and rescue, which is still going on. Right now, there are over 450 search and rescue experts working round the clock. Second, I've identified FEMA's Administrator Griswold to lean forward, as she always has done, to help survivors get immediate aid. FEMA's quickly provided 55,000 meals, 75,000 liters of water, 5,000 beds, 10,000 blankets, working to help remove the debris, repair roads, and restore power. Additionally, my Department of Housing and Urban Development is working with the state to make sure survivors can move from emergency shelters into temporary housing to finally have a permanent place to call home as well. Small Business Administration is making low-interest federal disaster loans available to Hawaiian businesses, many of them we've seen here burned to the ground, homeowners and renters, and nonprofits. If you need help, you can visit FEMA's Disaster Recovery Center at Maui College or go to disasterassistance.gov, disasterassistance.gov. Today, I'm appointing Bob Fenton, who's here. Where are you, Bob? There he is. I'm appointing Bob Fenton as our Chief Federal Response Coordinator for Maui to lead our long-term recovery work. He's one of the nation's most experienced disaster response and recovery experts in America. And I'm directing him to make sure the community has everything the federal government can offer to heal and to rebuild as fast as possible. And we're focused on what's next. That's rebuilding the long term, rebuilding for long term, and doing it together to help get us back on our feet, to rebuild the way we want to rebuild, by making sure your voices are heard, by respecting your traditions, by understanding the deep history and meaning of this sacred ground, and establishing your community not to change its character, but reestablish it. We're also going to bring the capabilities to help you rebuild so your critical infrastructure is more resilient in the future. All this matters. Let me close with this. From stories of grief, we've seen so many stories of hope and heroism, of the aloha spirit. Every emergency responder put their lives on the line for us, save others. Everyday heroes, neighbors helping neighbors, Native Hawaiian leaders offering solace and strength. And this banyan tree, one called it the diamond in the rough of hope. Another referred to fire cannot reach its roots, what he said. Fire cannot reach its roots. That's Maui. That's America. And to the people of Hawaii, we're with you for as long as it takes, I promise you. May God bless all those we've lost. May God find those who we haven't determined yet. And may God bless you all. May God protect our troops. Now I'm going to happy to turn this over to the Governor Green.
All right, President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden there touring the area of on Maui and Lahaina after the wildfires, just devastating there. Those residents really waiting for him to come to be able to speak with him.
Yeah, he promised that they would get what they needed to rebuild, and we'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll be right back.
Rise and shine, everyone.
Oh, yeah. Every day, Southern California wakes up to the KTLA 5 Morning News.
Good morning.
And now, when you leave home to start your busy day, bring LA's favorite morning news team with you on your smartphone.
And we're following breaking news cleanup efforts underway after an oil spill.
It's LA's only live TV simulcast, heard exclusively on iHeartRadio.
I think that we have a pretty good finger on the pulse of what people in Southern California care about.
KTLA 5 Morning News anchor Frank Buckley.
Because we're from Southern California, and we care about it the way you care about it. So we're going to be on top of it.
Now you can be on top of it too throughout the day.
You can't always be sitting at home on the couch watching TV.
KTLA 5 Morning News anchor Jessica Holmes.
You gotta, go to work, go to school.
But on your way, stay tuned, informed, and entertained.
Where you can get updates on your little phone that you have with you all the time.
Or any other mobile device, anywhere, anytime.
You're going to get it all. You'll have your news, entertainment, traffic.
Weatherman Mark Kriske.
Henry and I will give you the weather. We'll have a little bit of a laugh, but it's just a complete package, and you're not going to miss out on anything.
KTLA is always on.
Sam Rubin.
All the interviews, all the stories that we do.
It's all there on TV, the radio, on our website, and social media.
We have a very active presence on Twitter. You tweet me in the morning, I'm going to tweet you back 2 seconds later.
I've tweeted on the weekends, don't take Sunset Boulevard. Just trust me on this.
Ginger Chan has traffic.
Whether it's a pursuit, whether it's a breaking news story that has all lanes blocked on the 105 freeway.
You'll find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and now on iHeartRadio.
I think we've always prided ourselves of being close with our audience.
Stay close to everything that's happening in your world.
Now with all these tools, we're even closer.
And stay connected to KTLA 5, LA's very own. Keep listening to KTLA 5 Los Angeles, LA's only local TV news simulcast. Mornings, afternoons, primetime, and weekends, KTLA 5 is LA's #1 source for local news. This is Southern California's #1 local news, KTLA 5, Los Angeles. Get Southern California news, weather, and traffic 24/7 on KTLA.com, on the KTLA 5 News app, and right here on iHeartRadio.